There are people like Chocko Valliappa who's running business there. Mr. Valliappa, how are you looking at this entire move of the state government?
I mean, on the concept, I think it's right to say that, like, there should be more people learning Kannada and all of that. That's absolutely right, in the right direction. But there is a way to bring that out. Maybe, I mean, Karnataka being the technology, the epicenter of the world, we should have tried a technological way to say that let's gamify Kannada in schools. Let's produce more Kannada, interesting Kannada documentaries, movies, and something like that to draw youngsters to learn Kannada. Because here now seems to be pushing and saying enforcement. That's not the right attitude. And because let's look at it, I mean, one is India and the other is Bharat, right? So one is how can we progress with it? Because if you put these strictures and if you're going to limit the talent coming in, today Bangalore is not just a technology hub for India. The Bangalore is a technology hub for the world. So it is attracting global talent across. So if a multinational comes to Bangalore and he's asked to run with the leg tied, he or she is going to think twice. So it's from that context we need to look at. And it's as an IT powerhouse, like, over 35% of our GDP comes from some IT. So we need to treat it with kid gloves in a way, because and let's look at how we can bring in talent. If I learn Kannada medium school in a government school, is it going to get me a better job or not? So that's what my my driver's kids or my servants are house help. I mean, that's their quandary, right? So are we giving them a brighter future? That's what we need to look at. So there is one thing to say culturally we need to inculcate Kannada, absolutely agreed. But there is a way to bring it out, to make it look fancy, make it look sociable so that people can go.
No,
yes. Yes.
Maria, I wanted to come in here.
Okay, Vijay Prasad.
No. Recently, Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman has categorically said banks must appoint staff who speak local languages. You're there for doing the business. If the bank front office staff does not able to speak in the local language, how are you expecting the customer to speak in the languages they or the state they come from?
Fine. We have also Harish Bijur. I have to give him the first word. His opening comments are also pending. One moment. Harish Bijur, what about you? What are your views? How will the corporate Bengaluru see this?
Okay. See, firstly, the clarion call to say Kannadiga first is something I appreciate, fundamentally because, in this federal structure that we live within, every state is considered to be more homogeneous than all the states put together, in terms of saying that every state is more homogeneous and the country by and large is heterogeneous. And therefore, homogeneous pieces of the political spectrum needs to take care of that homogeneous mass. So to that extent, I mean, that's quite a bit of a mouthful, but to that extent, I am happy with the thought Kannadiga first in Karnataka. But I do believe it needs to come with a difference. And the difference that I'm talking about is a tweak. And my tweak on this is simply to say that it must be Kannadiga first at the first mile and not at the last mile. By first mile, I mean basic education, school education.
Yes.
By first mile, I mean terrific health facilities for the Kannadiga by and large. I mean terrific education facility at primary, secondary levels, and maybe even at the tertiary levels. I'm really talking about competence building. In competence building, Kannadiga first is very good, but in terms of reservation in jobs, maybe not. Because when you reserve jobs for a particular segment of society, that segment of society loses the animal instinct to really fight and become better.
Vijay Prasad, respond
to this. I think the Kannadiga is as good as anyone else, and I think we can fight and become the best without stops at the last mile.
Yes. Vijay Prasad, respond to this, and Aishwarya Mahadev as well.
Okay, see, I want to comment to what Harish said. See, for example, if a candidate, okay, who has done his masters and who is a very good candidate and a very meritorious candidate, applies for job in Tamil Nadu and say Telangana or Andhra. Okay, and if he was asked to, and if he's asked whether he knows to read and write Telugu or Tamil, and if he says no, and so who will get the job? The local people who is a Tamilian or who say Teluguite will get the job, not the Kannadiga. So why are we cherry picking? So you are okay in Tamil Nadu, you are okay in Telugu, you are okay in Andhra, but when it comes to Karnataka, why are you saying? Why the people are saying we are discriminating? Where should the Kannadiga go, if not Karnataka? That is the reason why the Karnataka government has taken a bold
then
step
why project
in
yourself
protecting.
as this cosmopolitan city or cosmopolitan state which is open to the entire world?
What
Are you
is
not
wrong?
closing yourself in?
No,
Why
no, no,
force corporate?
No, no. See, Karnataka is a place which is a diverse place which has given life and
Aishwarya.
employment to crores of
Aishwarya.
people. Okay, we are not discriminating anyone here. So we are only
This
saying
argument
that,
that you are trying to
our
safeguard the language.
We are only
Language, but on the other hand, you're talking about diversity.
We are not closing our mind. We are protecting our language.
But you are also But you are essentially saying that all this policy will be implemented at the cost of the taxpayer, and you're not giving the taxpayers that choice. Yes.
No. See,
Aishwarya.
Let us not bring in the taxpayer.
Yes, we will bring in, because that's what the corporate India is talking about.
Here.
Yes.
Everyone on this
Aishwarya.
land, love the land, has to pay the tax.
Marya.
Let us not bring in the tax angle here.
Okay.
It is only the land.
Okay, Aishwarya. Yes.
Marya, rhetoric is wonderful. All these very impassioned speeches are great, but to put your money where your mouth is something that's very important. And I think the BJP's track record, and if this does come in, possible backlash aside, I think that one thing is I don't see it happening at all, because of the fact that if you look at the BJP's promises, whether it's Karnadotsava, whether it's the fact that they should have made a push for Kannada in every single educational institution, formally and informally, irrespective of NEP, whether the fact that they were supposed to actually reinforce funds for the Kannada Development Forum and whatnot, the BJP has not done it. Rather, and also, he'll talk about Ms. Nirmala Sitharaman talking about banks serving in the local regional languages. Sir, look at the IBPS exam and what languages you offer it in. You also see videos coming across where you see people speaking in foreign languages in rural Karnataka. The fact of the matter is, sir, you have not committed or implemented any of your promises. I did not interrupt you, and I think it's extremely rude for you to do the same, even though you took a lot of my time. So let me finish, and then you can say whatever you want. Marya, the fact of the matter remains that the BJP is completely desperate in its plea to obviously push to get more Kannadiga votes, because you see them moving away, en masse, irrespective of Kannadigas. A lot of people in Karnataka, because of the situation in the state today, they want to take on an emotive issue. They're trying the communal angle, they're trying the linguistic angle, but at the end of it, their implementation of making it happen is absolutely abysmal. Whether it is educational, whether it is social upliftment for the most backward Kannadigas, or even providing opportunities, they've never done it. So this push right before elections is something that is
just enough time for Harish Bijur. Harish Bijur, the question is also, will this really work? Because the government sector is known for following the quota recommendations and giving preference to Kannadigas. Why should the private sector be warned in the manner in which it is being warned?
Yeah, I agree. This should not be seen to be a warning. This must not be mandated to be a warning, because that's completely wrong. I do believe it should be about saying that, primacy for Kannada is fine, because, there is an inequity on that basis, in terms to say that, English speaking gets you corporate jobs. Hindi speaking gets you government jobs, but Kannada speaking must get you government jobs for sure, and maybe more. So I think, just as long as there's no discrimination in language in terms of saying that, we employ only English speaking people, or only Hindi speaking people, or only Kannada speaking people, just as long as there's no discrimination, I think we should be fine with it.
Right.
What this brings to the fore is primacy for the Kannada language in Karnataka, which is a perfect issue. Just